Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, come on into the Bible Bistro and have a seat. Pour yourself a bowl of this delicious Bible study and let's get right to it. This is good for you. It's filled with Bible vitamins and Bible minerals. Daily Dose Radio, Psalm 18 today is our subject, verses 15 and 16. We're going to conclude the theophany section and begin actually the section. There are two pieces here. I call them deliverance praise number 1 and deliverance praise number 2. In between that, he talks about the enemy, and that, of course, is the thing that he's asking God to take care of, this enemy that's oppressing him, and God's deliverance of that is part of the praise that David engages in. And then verse 20 stands out as a unique piece. We'll talk about that on Friday. So let's look today at verses 15 and 16, and I'll read that for you. So he revealed channels of water, and he exposed the foundations of the world. At your rebuke, O Lord, the breath of the wind of your nostrils. He sent from the heights and took me. He drew me out of great waters. Here again, remember, this action of God is happening because the psalmist has prayed. David has prayed, and now God is moving. We had yesterday the opening salvos of battle. He thundered in the heavens. He sent out his lightning, hail, and coals of fire. Now we have the channels of water revealed, so God is now actually changing the course of nature. That's how important your prayer is to him. Notice, he revealed the channels of water. Again, we have Exodus imagery here in the Psalter. David goes back to the deliverance of the children of Israel from the hand of Pharaoh in Egypt, and he uses that as imagery of this deliverance that he is receiving from the Lord. Channels of water, the blast of the wind of his nostrils. This is Exodus imagery when they're at the Red Sea. The wind blows, the waters part, and as they part, revealing the channels of water. And the second phrase there, he exposed the foundations of the world. That also is Exodus imagery when the earth opens in the rebellion of Korah, and that whole company falls into the earth, as the earth opens its mouth and revealing the foundations, because they go a long way down when the earth swallows them. So the channels of water, the foundations of the world, this is Exodus imagery, and it all happened because the Lord moved on behalf of his people. He moved at the Red Sea, he moved at the rebellion of Korah. And now David is saying to the Lord, this is saying to us, this is what God is doing on my behalf because I prayed. I, in my distress, called on the Lord, and my prayer came into his temple. Verse 16, he sent from the heights and took me. Where are the heights? Well, that's God's abode. Wherever that might be, it's in that glorious tent surrounded by dark waters and thick clouds. It's that place in the heaven where the Lord is. He comes down now and takes the psalmist and drew me out of great waters. Again, Exodus imagery, because we have Moses being drawn out of the Nile in the ark that his mother made for him. So he's drawn out, and he's called Moses because she drew him out of the waters. So the Lord drew out the sons of Israel. So the Lord drew out you and I and the psalmist David because we prayed. Our prayer came into his temple, entered into his ears. And in verse 7 through verse 15, we have his action. And now his hand reaches down. And notice these verbs here. He took me, he drew me out of great waters. Ladies and gentlemen, he will do that for you as well. Tomorrow we'll see the second piece of this first deliverance praise in verse 17. And then notice that the enemy is mentioned here in parts of 17 and 18. So join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.